Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Friday and it's probably about 1:30 in the afternoon, and I thought I'd come up and walk around a little bit. And where we are is south of Chiang Mai Gate, and we're going to walk around here. And I'm going to tell you a little story about something that Lek kind of brought this to light yesterday, and today she reminded me today about it. And I had read about this story on the internet a couple of times, and it really wasn't anything that I wanted to do a video on, because I've already done one on it a bunch of times. But after talking to her and her twisting my arm a little bit, I figured I'd go ahead and do it. And she even gave me her opinions on it, and it pertains to people paying a drowdy. And they call it Sinsod drowdy, and what it is, basically you're paying money, you know, when you marry a girl. And I had seen the story that she's talking about posted on the internet a couple of different times in the last few days. It's really been kind of a hot topic, and you know, it has brought a lot of responses. And I didn't read the responses, but after Lex sent it to me again, I read them. It was kind of interesting, the philosophies that people had about it, and some of the foreigners and the Thai people. And I was really intrigued. Lek gave me her opinion, and I'll tell you what that is after I tell you the story and kind of give you my opinion, and you know, go from there. But anyway, this is where we're at, and I'm going to turn the camera around and kind of stop talking with it. It's been raining, so I might get wet, might not. It's a pretty little interesting place. Lex Doctor is right over there, and then behind this big building here that is now shut down, used to be Thai Airways, is a really cool temple. But we're going to go down here. We're going to walk to the right, and there's a place down here that has excellent Philly cheesesteaks, and we may either get one on the way down or on the way back. But anyway, the story, it pertains to, you know, like I said, it pertains to the drowdy, and a lot of foreigners, you know, that really puts a sour taste in their mouth when they hear that word. Me, I've been here a while, and I kind of understand it. And I'll be honest with you, I paid one. I didn't have any regrets paying one. And you know, maybe during the video I'll explain why I didn't. But this guy, he doesn't say how old he is. Now, he does say that his girlfriend, he's come to Thailand and he's on a long stay visa. And he's met a girl who is a university student. And it does not say how old she is. So we gotta imagine that she's probably somewhere between the ages of 18 and say 23. But there's no indication as to how old he is. He meets this girl and he falls in love with her, and he starts talking to her, and they start talking about marriage and stuff like that. And the subject of the Sinsod comes up, and you know, that's Greek to him. He's an American, and he's never really thought much about Sinsod, or didn't really know much about it. But he's talking with the girl's family, and according to him, her family is kind of middle class. They're not farmers, and they work for like a shipping company or something like that. So they're kind of middle class, not broke people, but they are, you know, Isan people, and you know, we're foreigners. And here's the place for the cheese. It's called Cheese Tober, and they have really good Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. And I may get one maybe on the way back. If I do, I'll include it in the video. But they have really good food, really nice people too. But I think we'll walk down here, and I'm going to make a left up here, I believe, and get across the street here without getting run over. Sometimes that's not easy. There we go. But anyway, this guy, he writes on Reddit that about this, and he's asking for advice. And it seems that he meets with the family and they agree to a 1 million baht Sinsod, which would consist of money and gold to be put on the plate during the wedding. But the way they're talking when he's discussing this with him, and this is where he made his first mistake. He made several mistakes, but this is one that he made. He let them know that he was capable of doing that. You know, capable of paying a million baht Sinsod, which is about $30,000. But anyway, the agreement was that he would pay it, and they'd have the wedding, and then it would all be given back to him. And so he had no problem with that. And they're going along, and you know, I guess they're making the plans and stuff, and they go back home. And then, according to him, the parents say that no, they're not going to give it back. What they're going to do is they're going to give her half and then keep the other half kind of in escrow for her in case she ever needs it. Now there's your big old pile of bananas. 30 baht, 15 baht. Huh. Those are good bananas. They're nice and sweet. Hello. Yeah, we'll walk back down this way. School over here. But anyway, this is just, you know, this just freaks him out. And according to him, he has to leave the country pretty soon, but he's on a long stay visa, so there's no problem with him coming back. And apparently he's talked to the girl, and the girl says that, you know, that's a reasonable Sinsod, 1 million baht. And she's kind of, you know, she's agreeing with her family, and he's kind of caught between a rock and a hard spot. Either if he's going to marry this girl, it's going to cost him 1 million baht, and it's leaving a sour taste in his mouth. Now I'm going to tell you, vape club. Huh. It must be when they go in and smoke those vapes. I'm going to tell you basically what I think. I think the entire post, and I'm going to leave a link to it in the description. I think the entire post is just a troll trying to get information or trying to get responses, because it's just, yeah, it's just bizarre. But where he made his first mistake was letting them know that he was able to pay that. And that's one of the first things I tell people when you come here. Don't go bragging how rich you are. Don't go showing off a lot of gold. Don't go, don't go bragging, and obviously don't make promises that you can't keep. It's just, that could end up being really bad for you. If you say you're going to do something. Hello. She's got some nice smelling noodles. If you want noodles and pad thai, it smells good. If you make a promise, keep it, especially if it involves, something financial with the family, because, he's between a rock and a hard spot, because if he backs down and confronts the family now that he's not willing to pay that, even if they agree to it, in the eyes of the family, from this moment on, he's going to be like the soles of their feet. He's just not going to be thought of very well. So he's pretty much, if he's going to marry here, he better go ahead and just pay it and forget about it. But I don't know whether that'll happen or not, or even whether this is true. Now, somebody else said this is a really good place to have noodle in here. I don't know, I've never tried it. Miles music, but he doesn't know whether he's asking people whether he should just get on a plane and get out of here and not come back. And that's what he was asking people's opinion of. And he got mixed opinions. Some people, you know, some Thai people told him, you know, if the family's asking for money now, after you get married, they're going to expect it all the time. Now, in some families, that's probably true. It's not, I don't think it's true in all of them, but in some situations, it is, and it could be in this situation. You know, we'll never figure that out. But you know, my thing is, like I said, he put himself in a bad position when he agreed to put it up for show, because that alone there said that he has it. So, you know, if he doesn't do it, he'll be mud in the family from then on out. A lot of food carts down here too. Salvi, I'll show you these. And the women's prison massage place is right here. Chiang Mai Women's Correctional Institute Vocational Training Center. Klang Wang Prison Camp. And then the old prison used to be right over here to the right. And I've walked this area a bunch of times, and what has happened is they got in there and started digging around, and they found some artifacts, so they had to stop. And they're trying to preserve as much of it as they can. But that's the situation, and you know, like I said, a lot of Thai people, you know, told him just, you know, cut your losses and leave. Other people explained it, and the way Lek explained it, that a lot of it is the family wants to show. You know, they during the wedding, you know, they want to show that the guy that their daughter's marrying is of good standing and able to take care of her. And they want to show that to the people in the village. She makes great coffee right there. She's been in 3 or 4 of my videos. Let's see, we're gonna walk across the street here. And yeah, here's the old woman's prison here. And we'll probably go left. Shame they put graffiti all over this wall. It's not the pretty kind. This place used to have some really beautiful, beautiful graffiti. And if I can find the pictures, I'll put them in the video that I took before they tore the wall down. And you used to be able to go inside, but you can't get in now. But that's where he, you know, he made his mistake. So, you know, he's going to have to live with it. Now, whether he'll marry the girl or not and pay the $1 million baht, well, we may never know, but, you know, it's hard to say, but that is part of it. And Lek tells me that sometimes that's true. The family will ask for a Sinsod, and then after the wedding, they'll give it back to the groom, and you know, wish them a happy wedding. And you know, who knows? I've heard of it both ways, and I do know of a couple that Lek and I both know are very nice people that they had been dating for years, and her family wanted an amount of money that they just didn't have, and they waited to get married until they had enough money to pay it. And it was several years. I mean, they were dating when we met, and it was probably 4 or 5 years after Lek and I were married that they actually got married as well. So, you know, that's how it is. Now, this is what Lek told me, and when she explained to me what her feelings were. She says that the guy should not deal with the family, he should deal with his girlfriend, and he should explain to his girlfriend that he's not willing to pay that much money, that he loves her and cares about her and wants to provide for her, but he's not willing to give up that much money to her family. And that if she really loves him and wants to get married, that she is the one that should go back to her family and take care of the mess, you know, fix it so that he doesn't have to pay it. Now she says that if she's not willing to do that, then he needs to beat feet and run. Oh, they got all kinds of stuff here. That she's not the person that would make him a faithful companion and a good wife, because she's not willing to side with him and protect his interests over her family. So that's what she said, and I was kind of surprised when I heard that. I wasn't expecting that from her. But she also explained to me that this day and age, the new generation is not really keen on this Sinsod idea. You know, they've had enough of it, and it's on the way out. She says that the ones that are really pushing it are the ones that are kind of old culture, you know, and believe in the old ways. Because she says it's something that's been going on for a long time now. In talking to her, you know, she's got a brother and a sister. Sister, I don't know, I can't count how many times she's been married, because I don't think I know all of them. But nobody's ever paid a Sinsod for her. Her brother got married, and she says he never paid one either. So, you know, who knows? But I did. But like I said, in the situation that with me is, I knew her parents. Her parents had, her father was a janitor at the school, and they lived on the property of the school, and that's where the house was. Leck grew up living in the school, on the school. And I think we will go out here and walk straight, and then maybe go to the left, or we may go a little bit further across the street or something. I don't know, we'll just keep walking. But he's probably trying to figure out where he's at. But in her situation, her father was getting ready to retire. And when he retired, they had to move off the land. And he was probably going to retire in about 6 months after we had planned to get married. So they had to buy land. They had to build a new house. And so I didn't mind, you know, I didn't mind paying it. I knew where the money was going. You know, and it wasn't that much. I mean, it wasn't anything that put a strain on me. Now, if it would have put a strain on me, then I would have spoke up. But it wasn't an amount that hurt me a bit. And also the agreement we made as well is whatever land they bought would go to Leck whenever they die. So, you know, I like I said, I didn't have any problem with it. But she says that sometimes families, especially in the rural areas, when they hear foreigner, they think money. And that's their main goal, is to extract as much money from the foreigner as they can. And they don't, you know, they don't give it back to the bride and the groom, and you know, they keep it. And she says, you know, those are the kind of families that you don't want to get into. And another thing that she said is that a lot of times these families, the bride's family and the groom's family, will get together and they'll try to work something out that's, you know, agreeable, and kind of work with it, you know, work with each other, and something that's feasible so their kids can get married. And she said sometimes the families will go in and take out big loans to pay for these big weddings that they have, and just to show face, which doesn't surprise me. Yeah, we are just coming up on Three Kings. And I have maintained a no rain. But that's pretty much the story. Like I said, I'm gonna leave a link to the article. And what do y'all think? I mean, I know that a lot of the viewers here are married to Thai women, and not all of them have paid, you know, Sinsod. And some of them have. You know, tell me what you think. You know, leave it in the comments. I'd really be interested to hear what you've got to say. Now, I am going to have to tie my shoe, so I'm going to turn this off for just a second. There we go, we're back. But, you know, like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think when it's exploited, and in this situation, I feel like it definitely is. I thought I'd untied my shoe, but I stepped on a piece of tape. Looked like my shoelace. You know, when it's being exploited, like in this situation, $1 million baht, that's a lot of money. They could do a lot with $1 million baht. Now, there was another story that I read a few years back where a guy, and he was an American, and he was pretty well off, and he had come over and met a lady boy, and he paid that family, I think it was 5 million baht, had a big wedding, and it's just crazy stuff. And then the last video I did about this, Lek, after she watched it, I had said that the only people that should expect to pay a Sinsod is if you marry a woman that hasn't been married before. And Lek, after she watched the video, she quickly corrected me, and she said, no, you know, it doesn't matter if she's been married before or not, if she's got kids or not, you know, still, you know, can be asked to pay a Sinsod. But she says today that it's not, you know, it's not something that's done, you know, relatively often. You know, and like I said, I don't particularly know of anybody. Now, there was a guy that I knew back in the States that had married a girl, and he, you know, he had told me he had paid one, because most guys don't like to talk about it. They don't want to admit it. But wait a minute, I think I want to go left here. I'm sorry. I don't have any clue how long this video is going to be. But, and his wife, before they even got married here, she had to sign a prenuptial agreement, which was, to me, you know, I didn't think it was binding being signed over here, but they actually did get a divorce back in the United States, and I was friends with a lawyer that handled her case, and he said, yeah, it is binding, even though it was done in Thailand. Now, a will's not, but apparently a prenuptial agreement is binding. That was really strange. I didn't think that was possible. But he had paid a Sinsod. He had a lot of money, so, you know, I didn't ask him how much it was. He didn't say, but I'm sure it was substantially more than what I paid, because I was just a poor old cop and didn't have any money. Wow, there's all kinds of food here now in the afternoon. This place is just loaded with kids that go to this school. This is the same school that Yingluck Shinawatra went to, the exiled prime minister. And that's the other thing that's big news here is Thaksin's back, and they're all in a hussy about him not being in prison. Apparently he's ill and he's in some kind of a hospital, which, you know, we all knew what was going to happen. And I, yeah, like I said, I don't have an opinion there, but everybody's kind of talking about that. It'd be interesting to see. And the king just pardoned him. He only has to serve 1 year of his 8-year sentence. So it won't be long, he'll be done. And my feelings, you know, well, I'm really not going to tell my feelings. It's, I'm not Thai, and I don't really have a right to an opinion. I'm living here as a guest. You watch free school. And, I try to keep the channel as unpolitical as possible because, like I said, I'm not into politics. I don't get involved in that. Now, my wife, she does, but that's, you know, she's Thai. She can do it, but not me. I'm going to stay out of it. We are almost back at the car. But anyway, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about the Sinsod. And let's get a little debate going. I think most of the people that don't live here are going to be against it and think it's hogwash. I think some of the people that live here on the channel will understand it. Maybe some of them paid it, maybe some of them didn't. And just see where it goes. But I'm really interested to see what people think. But anyway, I am going to head back to the car, and I believe I'm going to go get something to eat. And wow, this is a pretty neat place right back here. But the car is right on the other side here. Y'all have a good day, and appreciate you stopping in. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.